Okay, so you're moving to Utah or you're considering moving to Utah, and Daybreak is one of the places that's pretty high up on your list. Well, this video is just for you. Today in this video, I'm going to cover everything about Daybreak. It happens to be the neighborhood where I personally live, and so I'm gonna share everything there is to know about living in Daybreak, including showing all the parks, the pools, the amenities, as well as the restaurants and everything in between. Now, right now, I'm standing right in the heart of Daybreak in Soda Row is what we call it. This is a place where there's some restaurants, there's a bar, there's some really cool things, but also there's a lake right over here to my left behind me, as well as this concert venue where I'm standing right now. This is where they hold a summer concert series. There are car shows and farmers markets and so many things that take place in this community. It's absolutely incredible. And in this video, I'm gonna give you the full tour of everything to know about Daybreak, including showing some of the new construction and the existing homes that we have here for sale here in Daybreak. All right, before we get started, I just wanted to cover a few things. So for many people, Daybreak, I mean, it's not for everybody, right? Some people don't want that really tightly knit master plan community vibe. They don't want that really uniform feel that you get in a master plan community just like this one. Nor do they want that really restrictive HOA that some people perceive the HOA here to be. So having lived here for 8 years myself, I see the pros and cons. I understand fully why some people just choose to not even consider Daybreak. But surprisingly, for most people that move here, they find this is an amazing place to live and they will never move. And so it's incredibly common for people to move here. They buy their first place and then they move up and buy their second and even their third home here in Daybreak. So in my opinion, there are only two types of people. There are people that hate Daybreak and there are people that love it. I can see both sides of the equation for sure, having lived here myself. But let's get started and give you the full tour of everything to know about Daybreak. I'm going to talk about the very dreaded thing that most people don't want to talk about, and that is the HOA. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the video as well. I want to talk about what Daybreak is. Daybreak is the largest master planned community in the entire state of Utah, and it was created and started being built out in the early 2000s, and it's still being built out today. And so you'll find elements in terms of walkability in this community that are far better than any other community that you'll find in Utah. It's pretty cool because we have over 50 miles of trails right here inside of Daybreak, not only for walking trails, but for biking, e-bikes, whatever you want to do. And there are constantly people out taking advantage of these trails, as well as a lake and a water course and so much more. Also, as somebody who's really into architecture, I love the ethos behind the design of this community. They actually modeled a really popular neighborhood in downtown Salt Lake City. It's actually a neighborhood that I created a video just a couple of short months ago, and it's called Yellcrest. They modeled this development after Yellcrest and created a design where it would inspire people to get to know their neighbors. In other words, every home has a front porch. The garages are not the focal point of the home. In other words, they're in the back of the home with accessibility through the alleyways behind. But it extends even further than that. They've actually used a lot of the architectural elements from some of those homes up in Yellcrest to come up with a design theme here in Daybreak that kind of gives it a more modern twist, but still pays homage to those older architectural Tudor style homes, the English cottage style homes, and so much more. And you'll even find modern versions of the old bungalow style homes that you see oftentimes throughout downtown Salt Lake City. And I think that personally, this is one of my favorite things about Daybreak is the architectural diversity, as well as the diversity amongst the different types of properties that are scattered throughout all of Daybreak. In other words, there's just not one part of Daybreak where all of the really expensive homes are versus another area where all of the townhomes are or the condos. They're mixed and intermingled throughout the entire community in such a way that the design remains cohesive, but also it really helps create that diverse experience through each and every village within the community. Now, if you're not familiar with where Daybreak is located, it's actually in the city of South Jordan, in the southwest quadrant of the Salt Lake Valley. It is, of course, part of the Salt Lake City metropolitan area, but the location of Daybreak specifically is pretty ideal because it has a freeway that runs right through the middle of the development and the neighborhood where the downtown Daybreak area is currently beginning to be built out. That road, which is the Mountain View Corridor, is going to be converted to a full freeway, which will provide easy access to and from inside and out of Daybreak, as well as the new baseball stadium, the new restaurants that are going in, and all of the development that's happening right here in downtown Daybreak. The other really big thing that I love about the location of Daybreak is just directly to the east, we have Bangerter Highway, which is and currently is completely being converted into another freeway. And so what that means is we have two freeways that run right through or next to Daybreak going north and south, which makes it so much easier to get in and out of Daybreak. Now, the biggest biggest challenging part about the location is the east-west travel. As I've talked about in so many of my other videos, it's actually the east-west travel during rush hour or those peak hours where the traffic just gets to be the worst. And of course, construction impacts everything. And so when we're living in an area that's growing really rapidly, we always see construction. And for those that aren't from here and they're maybe from the city and they're coming out to the suburbs, they might get a little frustrated with the traffic based on construction, because it is construction season here in Utah, because summertime is the best time to build things, including roads. And listen, the main draw for Daybreak is the vast amount of amenities that it offers. It has a lake, it has a water course, it has countless parks. Every neighborhood that you're in, every village within the development, you're going to be in a place where you're within walking distance of at least 2, probably 3 parks. So if you have little kids like I do, my kids are 9 and 8 years old, parks are a big deal, especially when wintertime comes and they want to go sledding, or in the summertime they want to go play in the park with their friends. It's really cool to have so many parks so close. And so it's those amenities along with the 4 swimming pools that really are the draw for families, especially families with kids like me. So my kids are absolutely loving summertime because they get to go to the pool all the time. There are some really cool pools here as well. So I'm going to try to show some of those here in this video. If you like swimming pools, if you like that type of atmosphere in terms of amenities without having to pay for that pool yourself, it could be a really good fit. Now, beyond those amenities, there are many others. We have a really cool spot right here where I'm at, right here in the middle of Daybreak, in a place that we call Soda Row. Right here over my shoulder, you'll see restaurants. There's a bar and a grill. There are nicer restaurants. There are casual dining restaurants, as well as a really nice fine dining restaurant over here as well as an event center where people oftentimes get married. They have all sorts of receptions. But this is a really cool place right here in the middle of Daybreak. And honestly, the amenities are the biggest draw as to why people choose to move here. So I'm standing right in the heart of Daybreak. This is Soda Row. So right over my shoulder to the left, there's actually a summer concert series that's kicking off right now. They do these concerts all the time in the summertime, as well as farmers markets and car shows and so many other activities. And so if that's the type of vibe you're looking for in a community, Daybreak could be a really good fit. Also, if I turn around, right over here over my left shoulder is where they're building downtown Daybreak. Now they've started building numerous structures, but the one that's the most notable is the new baseball stadium for the AAA affiliate to the Los Angeles Angels in our Salt Lake Bees. So this is a really cool development where we'll see a ton of new restaurants, office space, and so many other things happening right here in the heart of Daybreak. And that's precisely where the new freeway is cutting right through the middle of Daybreak as well, separating Daybreak into 2 sides. Now on the west side of Daybreak is where we see the new watercourse development. That's where most of the new construction is currently happening. And it's that spot precisely. If you're looking for new construction, you're probably going to end up on the west side of Daybreak where all the new stuff is happening. Over here on the east side of the development, you'll see more established neighborhoods. Some of these developments have been around for 10, 15 years. The trees are just a little bit more mature, but it still has that same Daybreak vibe no matter which part of Daybreak that you're in. And honestly, I really think they did a great job in designing this community, with the exception of just a couple of things. So having lived here for 8 years myself, there's just a couple of things that I really don't like about Daybreak. One of which is the combination of narrow streets and lack of parking. So most homes don't have big driveways, and therefore a lot of people end up parking on the street. So if you have multi-generational families, if you have a lot of visitors, there are going to be a lot of cars on the roads, and that can cause for some trouble when you're navigating the roads right through the development. This is especially the case in the wintertime when snowplows are having to come through. I wish they had just a little bit more space in the roads. That is one of the flaws. But when we're talking about all the pros and cons, I think that is definitely something you give up when living here. But there's so many other pros that help offset that as well. So in Daybreak, if you're looking for that 5,000 square foot home, you can certainly find it here. There's some beautiful luxury properties in various places throughout the development, especially on and around the lake or the watercourse. That's typically where the most expensive homes are. But there are also so many other cool properties, including right through the heart of Daybreak here in Soda Row, and directly to the west of me where I have a new listing coming up. There are some really cool townhomes. There are 3 levels plus a rooftop deck, and there are so many reasons why a rooftop deck for entertaining purposes or for just enjoying the summer nights could be a really cool thing. Okay, back to the negatives about Daybreak. One of the big things that are brought up all the time when people are considering moving to Daybreak is that they find out that Daybreak is actually positioned on what is called a Superfund site. Now you likely won't be able to see this very well, but right over my shoulder you can see the largest open pit copper mine in the entire world. The mining right here has affected the land right here where Daybreak sits, and therefore it was declared as a Superfund site. And in the late 1990s, cleanup began because the tailings from that mine would leave a lot of the heavy metals and contaminants, not only in the soil, but the groundwater as well. And this is actually where I'm currently located right now at the headquarters for Rio Tinto, this building right here. This is precisely where it all starts and finishes. So this is the actual company that runs the mine. Also, the companies previous to this one were the ones that were responsible for following the EPA guidelines to clean up this development and make sure that it was ready for families to move in on. Now, as you can imagine, when those tailings from those mines, the water that runs off of those mines and brings along with it those heavy metals and those contaminants from the mining efforts, those are the things that they had to clean up. They had to remove a lot of soil, and they had to make sure that the groundwater was cleaned up as best as possible. Now, if you look at the test results from the EPA itself, this site is probably safer than most other places, but there are 43 Superfund sites throughout Utah, and there are all over the western United States, especially around mining. Mining is one of the biggest factors in terms of contamination of soil and groundwater. And so the question is it safe for your family? Well, I do believe that it's safe for mine, but only you can make that decision for you. There are so many other areas to consider, and I feel like that if you actually read the results of the testing and what the EPA has put out about this site itself, you'll be pretty comfortable yourself as well. So that's something worth noting if you're considering moving to Daybreak. And sometimes people ask me, why are you sharing the negatives about communities? Well, I think it's cool to be real with people. I think people really want to know the facts about a different area and not just the rosy, perfect things about it. So instead of just showing the perfect pictures with the wide angle shot, I want to make sure that you see everything there is to know about Daybreak, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that's what I'm going to do in this video, is share all of it. Okay, so I think that's enough talking about Daybreak. Let's go check it out. I'm going to drive through the neighborhood and give you kind of a driving tour of this development. And we're going to get inside a few homes right here in Daybreak so you can really get a good feel for what you can expect if you're considering moving to Daybreak in terms of what style of house and what you can really hope for in terms of the design and what things look like and feel like if you are going to live in Daybreak. Okay, Shayla, let's go check out this first house in Daybreak. Shayla, why is this the steal of the week? Why is this house a great house?
This house is great because it's priced under $200 per square foot.
All right, Shayla, show me around the house.
Okay, so here is the lovely, lovely kitchen. My favorite thing about this kitchen is the gorgeous countertops, the backsplash, and all of the space that you have.
Perfect. Does it have a pantry?
It does. The pantry is actually over here, not too far, and actually a lot of space in there as well.
Double doors on the pantry.
Double
That's
doors.
Pretty big. Sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. Tons of natural light throughout the living room, open floor plan. You could probably even put a larger table here if you had a larger family or get together.
Yeah, I think there's enough space here. If you wanted to have a table here with, you know, seating for 10 to 12 people, that'd be really easy to do.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And then it opens up to the great room as well.
Yeah. And then a cute little half bath right off the main. And then what I love about having the primary on the single level living is because you can have a little bit more privacy, have the kids upstairs and safe as well.
All right, so there's the primary bedroom. What about the bathroom?
Yeah, so I love this bathroom because it is really big. The only thing is it just doesn't have...
It doesn't have a tub, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I see it has a shower, but just not a tub. It does have a double vanity with blue cabinets. I kind of like that, to be honest. And I like how much floor space is in here as well. But the most important thing about a primary suite is the closet.
Yes.
Is it big enough for you, Shayla? I know Shayla really well, and I don't think this is big enough for you.
No, I would definitely need a bigger closet.
Shayla, you deserve a bigger closet.
So before we move on, I just want to show you one thing upstairs that I really love.
Ooh, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah, and...
So it's got a nice sized loft here?
Mm-hmm. Cute fixtures.
Nice. So I love this little loft area. What would you use this space for?
I would probably use this as like a game room for kids.
Game room with the kids. Mm-hmm. It's got a nice window seat over here.
Yeah. Again, tons of natural light.
That's awesome. And then you've got two other bedrooms over here?
Yep, side by side.
So right now we're sitting inside of the steal of the week. We call it the steal of the week because it's the best house that we found that week for the price per square foot. This happens to be an existing home here in Daybreak that Shayla is here with me today. We're showing this house, but also we're capturing a little bit of footage here to make sure that we can help guide you and show you what's actually available right here in Daybreak.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to show you one last thing, and that is the basement.
Sweet. Pretty much every house here in Utah does have a basement, which is really nice.
Okay, so here we are in the basement, and here's what I like about it. I mean, look at how big this room is down here.
This is an awesome size room.
Yeah.
Most houses at this price point and this size of home doesn't have a nice big room like this. This is a great space.
And the ceilings are 9 feet down here as well, which is awesome.
All right, what else do we have down here, Shayla?
Not sure what this little space is down here, but for kids or pets but.
Nice, under the stairs.
Yep.
Okay.
A den down here, and
so this could be a great office right here. You've got two like double French doors. Over here, you've got like an exercise room or a podcast room. I think that would be a good content creation room, and another bedroom.
One more bedroom here, and then my favorite bathroom of the entire house, which is this lovely bathroom.
Ooh, that's a nice bathroom. I like that. Okay, so as I drive around Daybreak, which happens to be the community where I live, I just wanted to share a little bit of information about Daybreak specifically. So Daybreak is located in South Jordan, which sits just about 20 miles southwest of downtown Salt Lake City. And it's the largest master planned community in the entire state of Utah. We currently have just shy of 10,000 homes that are built here in the community of Daybreak, with a total of about 20,000 homes when this neighborhood and this development is completely built out. And in all, Daybreak encompasses just over 4,000 acres in the southwest quadrant of the Salt Lake Valley. And Daybreak is divided amongst various villages. There's Founders Park, there's East Lake, there's Heights Park, Highland Park, all these different villages where they've divided things up and given different amenities to different areas to make sure that everybody has a unique vibe and feel depending on which village you live within Daybreak. And one of my favorite things about Daybreak is, like I said before in this video, is the mix of the development between luxury homes, townhomes, estate homes, and condos and multifamily living. There's a really good mix, and it's completely integrated throughout the entire community in such a way where it's not just like all the people that live in condos are over here and all the people that live in luxury homes are over here. It's a really good blend and mix, which adds not only to the aesthetic, but the vibe of living in Daybreak. Now, when we're talking about the different home builders that are building here in Daybreak, we have some local builders, some regional builders, and in the past, we've had some national builders. They've actually scaled back the number of builders that are building here in Daybreak now, with some local builders being highlighted in terms of Sego Homes, Destination Homes, Rainy Homes as local home builders. There's so many different offerings here in Daybreak, regardless of what the style is that you're looking for. But Daybreak's really cool place in terms of looking for new construction. And I found it to be incredibly interesting to find out that 1 in 6 homes built in Salt Lake County since 2004 have been right here in Daybreak. Now, when you look at Daybreak, you can divide it in half. You can look at the east side and the west side of Daybreak. The east side is a little more established, and the west side, which is west of Mountain View Corridor, is where the vast majority of the current growth is happening right now. Okay, so the east and west side both are highlighted by a water feature. On the east side, we have a 67-acre lake. It's a man-made lake called Orchard Lake. And on the west side, the new side of Daybreak, the highlight of the west side of Daybreak is the watercourse. And this lake, as well as watercourse, are awesome for non-motorized boats, kayaking, paddleboarding. You can do all of these things right here in the middle of your community, which is really cool. And if you're not into the water, there are over 50 miles of trails throughout the development, and that includes trails walking around and over the island, around the lake, throughout the neighborhood. There are so many trails in the neighborhood, which is really fun if you have kids like I do. So if you have e-bikes or you're just taking your dog for a walk, it's a really cool community for being able to do that. And as you can see right here outside my window, these are some of those trails right here. We have 50 miles of trails. And I think one of my kids' favorite parts about Daybreak is the mini parks. There are over 30 parks in Daybreak. And no matter where you live, you're probably within walking distance of at least 2, if not 3 parks. And different parks have different themes. There's a BMX trail. There's a BMX course in one of the parks that's called The Spoke. There are parks with splash pads. There are parks with sand where you can play beach volleyball or basketball. there are swimming pools, there are so many amenities throughout the community. There's no other community in Utah that really compares to it. And moving on into talking about schools just a little bit, this is an area that is part of the Jordan School District. So we have a high school just outside of Daybreak in Harriman High School, but there will be a future high school built probably right here in the middle of the neighborhood, pretty much right where I'm at right now. With the massive amount of growth that's coming, there will likely be another new high school here. We also have public charter schools and private schools right here in the community. So it doesn't really matter what you're looking for. You can probably find what you're looking for in terms of educating your children. And in the future, the University of Utah has some land right here outside my window where they might build an auxiliary campus out here if you're looking for higher education as well. Now, education is super important for so many people. And one of the downsides to living in an area that's growing quickly is the class sizes can be a little larger. And so many of the classroom sizes here in Daybreak or around Daybreak can be over 20 pupils per classroom, which I think at that point it starts to become a little bit of a crowd control issue. So homeschooling is another resource that is really prevalent here in Utah. And Utah in general is a phenomenal place if homeschooling is the choice that's right for you. And another thing I'd like to talk about is here in Utah, we don't have the best public transportation systems outside of Salt Lake County. But here in Salt Lake County, it really kicked off in the 1990s when we were granted the 2002 Winter Games. And that's when the light rail system really started being built here. And the UTA, which is the Utah Transit Authority, has a really great light rail system called TRAX. And that TRAX line that runs right out here to Daybreak is awesome. It runs right through the center of Daybreak. There are 3 stops here in Daybreak that will be completed so that you can pretty much get anywhere in the valley that you might want to based on just living right here in Daybreak. So if you're looking to go to a jazz game downtown or go to some restaurants or a concert, you're likely able to do that right here from the community in the heart of Daybreak just by hopping on the TRAX line. Another thing that really sets Daybreak apart from other communities throughout the state of Utah is its walkability. There are restaurants, there are markets, there are convenience stores, there are things that are right here inside of the community, which isn't really the case in most every other suburban neighborhood in the state. So it's really unique, and that walkability factor is pretty cool. When you go to the grocery store within the community here, which is called Harmon's, it's a really nice grocery store. You'll notice a lot of the people that are shopping there are walking there, and they're carrying their things. They've got carts, they've got e-bikes or scooters, and it's really cool to see that people can actually have a walkable neighborhood right here in Utah because it's just not all that common. And I really love that. I think it's really cool. Now, if you're looking for shopping, there's plenty of shopping just outside of Daybreak, down at Mountain View Village, which is just down the road, down the Mountain View corridor, as well as the district, which is just outside of Daybreak as well, where you have pretty much everything you need from Target to other grocery options to restaurants and other things like that. Now, right here, I'm driving right through the heart of Soda Row, which is where they close down this street for farmers markets on Saturday mornings. They close it down for auto shows, for car shows. They close it down for other events as well throughout the summertime and into the fall time as well. This is a really central point to Daybreak in terms of being able to close this road off, having those farmers markets and those events right here in the heart of Daybreak. Kind of a cool vibe as well. And just right next to us here is the venue that they've been using for the summer concert series. Now, with the development of downtown Daybreak, a new concert venue is going to be built right next to the baseball stadium, which is going to be the new home for the summer concert series. So this area will be a little bit different moving forward, but this has been a really cool spot to kind of bridge that gap until downtown Daybreak could be developed. Okay, other things that people have questions about when they're moving to Daybreak. Okay, where can you go golfing? Yes, there's a golf course right next to Daybreak in Glenmore Golf Course, which is just north of Daybreak. It's not actually inside of the community, but it's right next to it. I do think that in the future, we might likely have another golf course just outside of Daybreak, or even potentially within Daybreak coming up in the coming years, just on the west side of the Mountain View corridor. And if you have a family and they like to go swimming, there are 4 swimming pools here in the neighborhood that you can have access to. If you live anywhere in Daybreak and you pay for that dreaded HOA fee, you have access to all of the amenities, including all of the swimming pools. You don't have to live within a certain village of the community to have access to that particular pool. So that's kind of cool. So if your kids like to go and pool hop from one pool to another and try different places and meet new friends, I think it's a cool way to go. So swimming pools, yeah, we probably don't have very many homes here in Daybreak that have space enough in the backyard to build a pool. but there are some really cool community pools here as well. And here in Utah, it's a little more challenging than other places that some people are coming from, whether that be Arizona or Southern California or Las Vegas, where pretty much everybody has a swimming pool. Here in Utah, it's much less common because it's more expensive to maintain a swimming pool with our harsher climate. There's more that goes into winterizing your pool and everything else. That's not to say that people don't do it, because they do, and pools are getting increasingly more popular. But I believe that the best pool is the one that you don't have to maintain yourself. Just saying. Now, right now I'm driving through a 55 plus community. There's 55 plus homes in various parts of the neighborhood, including the east side as well as the west side of Daybreak. And they have their own fitness areas, their own community areas where people can actually get together and meet at the clubhouse and play games, do things like that. And so there's a really good fitment here as well for people that are looking for a really cool 55 plus development as well. And in terms of healthcare, there are plenty of hospitals around Daybreak, but there's also a hospital right here inside of Daybreak. And it's a University of Utah hospital, which is a really good network of hospitals here. But there's an IHC hospital just down the road in Riverton, and there's other hospitals as well that are close by. So healthcare is not a major concern. There's plenty of places to get where you need to go if the need arises. Now, in addition to all these things I've described, there's also some dog parks. There's places you can go and hang out with family all over the place, or just with friends. For example, right outside of my house, there's a park where they have a fire pit that you can turn the gas on, light it up, and you can actually roast marshmallows or just hang out in the evening. Summer nights in Utah are incredible, and Daybreak is one of the best places to live. I think it's really cool when you live in a place like Daybreak, where out here on the west side of the valley, you're kind of elevated up above the valley several hundred feet, if not more. And so you're actually looking down on the Salt Lake Valley just a little bit, but it really puts those Wasatch Mountains right at the focal point and the center of your view. And so I think that the views of the Wasatch Mountains out here on the west side of the valley are much greater than that on the east side, but that's probably just my opinion. But I think a lot of people share that opinion as well. Now, after having lived in Daybreak for almost a full decade, I can honestly say that if I were to walk the streets of Daybreak and just ask random people, every single person that I encounter, where are you from? I would guarantee you that at least 7, if not 8 out of 10 would be from somewhere else. And so Daybreak has really attracted a lot of people from out of state, from other places, because it's kind of a melting pot in terms of the suburban lifestyle of Utah. It's so different than so many of the other suburban areas, in that so many people that have come here have come from other places. So if you like that kind of diversity in a neighborhood, it's kind of a cool place to be, but you're still right in the heart of Utah. You're in the heart of the Salt Lake Valley in terms of being able to experience everything that Utah has to offer. I think that that really adds to the flavor and the mix that Daybreak offers. And not every neighborhood's like that. There are other neighborhoods in other communities where it's much more homogenous in terms of it's pretty much full of people that are only from Utah. And so depending on what you're looking for, that could really play into what's appealing and what's not about Daybreak. And like I mentioned before in the video, one of the 2 things that I think is the biggest negative about Daybreak is just the fact that the streets are a little tighter, right? A lot of people don't have massive driveways with space to park a lot of cars. For families that have multi-generational setups with more than one family living in a home, or maybe they've got teenagers or a larger family, or friends visiting a lot, the roads here can get pretty busy in terms of parking on the streets. So right now, as I drive through the development and I'm driving through these neighborhoods, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. So there's a lot of people that aren't here right now. So the streets are pretty empty. But if you do this around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, when things are a little busier, people are getting home from work, the streets can get a little bottlenecked, and sometimes you have to pull over and let other cars across or through before you proceed. And so that is one of the big drawbacks about Daybreak. It's a little tighter. The homes are built closer together. And for some people, that's just a little too tight. Some people really like that. Some people really hate that. And honestly, I think it just boils down to your personal preference. Now, that's not to say that there aren't larger homes here with really large lots. There are some. Those are far and few between. The really expensive homes can have some nice amount of space and larger lots. Those are really more uncommon. And the most common lot size here in Daybreak is going to be well less than 1/4 of an acre. You might be closer to 1/8 of an acre or somewhere in between 1/8 and 1/4 of an acre. Okay, something else I wanted to touch on really quick is many people believe that because we have this temple right here in the neighborhood, that this neighborhood's only going to be full of people that are of that faith, that are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I can honestly say that that is definitely not the case. Yes, there's a temple here. It's beautiful. beautiful. It's kind of that pillar that sits on the bench of the east side of the development that overlooks the valley. It's kind of cool. It looks beautiful at night, but that's not to say that there aren't people here from all sorts of different faiths, which I think adds to the flavor. I think another thing that I wanted to talk about is, as we drive through the development, what do people reach out to me and ask the most when we get on video calls and people are making the move here? I always have a call to action in my videos that if you're looking to make the move to Utah, I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. My team and I are here to help people each and every day, and we get the luxury of talking to people that are making this move all the time. And many of those people are looking at Daybreak specifically. And so we've had hour-long conversations, many conversations with many different families that are making the move here. And I get to actually find out what are their real questions that they're looking for answers towards, and what help can we offer in terms of guidance to allow them to make that best decision possible to see if Daybreak is actually a place where they want to live. And the same goes for you. If you're watching this video right now and you're considering Daybreak as a place where you might be potentially landing and finding a home here, please reach out to us. My team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can find our contact information down below and book a call with us. We'd love to give you some guidance. All right now I'm driving through an area along the eastern side of the development, on the very outside edge of the development, that we call the Ridge. This is a place where a lot of people live, and it overlooks the valley because this is where the elevation of this development sits up above the rest of the valley. And this ridge is a great spot to get a good view of the valley outside of Daybreak. And during the 4th of July, they actually close this road off and have a massive block party here. People do all sorts of things. There's ice cream, there's dunking, there's fireworks that we can watch all over the valley. It's a really cool vibe. It's a really cool place to experience the 4th of July. And given that inside of Daybreak, we cannot actually light fireworks in the development, this is a cool alternative and is really neat that you can experience it. And honestly, it saves you a lot of money if you don't have to buy fireworks. You can just go experience what other people are wasting their money on. Okay, another question that a lot of people have come up with is, what things are there to do for my children, or if you're an adult that's into a specific hobby, you know, whether it be martial arts or whether it be athletics, soccer, football, baseball, whatever. There are leagues all over the place. We're right in the heart of the valley here with pretty much everything you could experience. Everything is really close to Daybreak, and you don't have to go very far outside of Daybreak to find those extracurricular activities for you or your family. Now, if you're considering moving to Daybreak and moving to Utah in general, I would encourage you to reach out to me. This weekend, I've got 2 families coming in from out of state that are actually making the move here. And so what we typically do is we like to meet up and give you a personalized guide depending on the areas that you're most interested in, so that that guide can give you a good amount of information and guidance on your trip here. And so most people that do come here, they make a visit ahead of time just to kind of explore and get a lay of the land and get to know the areas. And this guide, along with our guidance, can really help people get through that. And so with these families this weekend, we're going to be showing them around not only Daybreak, but some other areas as well, because I think it's wise to not just focus on just one area. I think when you choose your community and your city first, the house will follow, right? I think it's crucial to first nail down which area speaks to you the most and where you want to live, and then after that, find the house. Now, part of that equation is getting to know the houses. And so when families do come to visit, so if you're coming to visit, I like to show people some of the homes. We check out new construction homes. We also check out existing homes and make sure that this is the right area for you based on what you're seeing both in the community as well as the homes. And I really do believe that people first pick their neighborhood or their community before they need to pick their home, because it's just a crucial part about the feel of where you're living. And that's so much more important if you're moving here from out of state. So whether you already live in the state of Utah and you're looking to make the move, or you're moving here from out of state, I think it's still important to know, is this the right place for you? Now, I've talked to countless people here in Daybreak. I know so many people after living in a couple different homes here within Daybreak that there's a really distinct vibe for those that actually live and fall in love with Daybreak. Most people that move here love it here and they don't leave. Of course, some people do, but the vast majority that actually find a home here, they want to keep it their home, they stay here. I think that it's really interesting to me to see how many people move up in home 3-4 times right here in the same development. It's because when people move here, they fall in love with the area, not just the house. And when they get tired of that house or they've outgrown that home, they simply move up in home. So we see a lot of people, move up buyers, buying a townhome maybe in the beginning, then a single family home, and then they move up 2 or 3 times throughout their cycle of living here in Daybreak. And Daybreak's not even 20 years old yet, and we still see people that have moved 3 or 4 times right within the same community. And I think that's a testament to the power of the community of Daybreak. And for those that don't participate in that don't live here, they probably don't quite understand why people would love to live here so much. But this is a real phenomena. I see it each and every day. And as I talk to people and get to know new people every day, I get to experience why it is that people fall in love with Daybreak. And if you're looking to make that move to Daybreak and you're getting a little closer to actually wanting to see what's available here, I do this for each and every person that reaches out to me. I set you up on a custom search where I send you each and every new listing of existing homes right here in Daybreak. But more importantly, I share with you all of the new construction homes that are available that are either close to move-in ready or move-in ready, as well as the opportunities to build a home here in the coming months. So knowing not only the existing home inventory, but also the new construction inventory, which about 80% of those homes never make it to the market. They never get on the MLS. Knowing those two markets, both the new construction and existing homes, is a really valuable resource, and that's exactly why I'm here. So if you want to know everything that's available inside of Daybreak, reach out to me. We will get you set up on those instant results so that every single day you get the newest listings that are popping up in real time right here on the market, both with existing homes, but also, more importantly, with those new construction homes as well. Okay, so today I'm out in Daybreak and I'm talking to Isaac with Sego Homes. They build some of the most unique properties here in Daybreak, and every time I have clients who are looking to live in Daybreak, they're really drawn to just a couple of different builders out here. And this is absolutely one of those builders because they do things a little differently. They have a different style and a vibe that I think attracts certain buyers. And so today we're going to talk to Isaac and learn everything we need to know about Sego Homes to make sure that you're on track. If you're looking to live in Daybreak, you'll have good guidance as to what you might want to consider. Okay, Isaac, here we are. We're sitting in your parade home. No, this is a model home.
Yep, model home.
Okay, so this is a model home. Next door to us is a parade home. Can you tell me, so obviously these are brand new floor plans. What would you like people to know about Sego Homes and why you built these new floor plans?
So yeah, in Daybreak, these are our single family homes. We actually have these are some of our new layouts. Just to get some good, different, unique options. So Sego Homes, we're known for like the indoor-outdoor living,
those
very
rooftop,
modern.
The hot tubs on the rooftop deck is like what you guys are known for.
Yeah. So we have some really cool balconies, either off like your primary bedrooms or up on the rooftop decks. We have some new layouts that are accommodating like multi-generational concepts.
Yeah.
Just a really some really unique, thought out floor plans.
That's awesome. And on the topic of a multi-generational setup, that's a really hot topic right now with housing affordability and just houses in general getting really expensive. So the home next door, I'm going to check that one out as well, but it is completely set up for multi-generational living. Is that right?
It is, yep. So it has 3-car garage, so garage with an entrance to the basement with a full kitchen setup, bedroom, stackable laundry, whole living area.
Perfect. If you're looking to combine families, it's a great way to go. And we actually already previewed the home, and they've got it set up in a way that it also has an outdoor entrance. It also has the ability to wall off the area where you walk into the house and go directly downstairs. And the garage is easy to wall off as well, so that each person living there has their own garage. It's pretty cool. Isaac, price points. What price ranges, not specific prices, because that changes constantly. In fact, if you want the exact pricing on certain homes, you're going to want to reach out to us. But what are the price ranges that people can expect for some of your homes out here?
Yeah, for our single family homes, we're starting like in the high 5s. So honestly, you're probably be more in the 600 range for our about 2,700 square feet. We have a lot of our square footage wise, we range from about 27 to about 3,700 square foot, right around in that 650, 700 range for some of our smaller floor plans, or then some of our larger plans were like starting in the 7s, you're more into the 8s and the 9s. So under $1 million, I would say, gives you a really good option. You could have a really nice home with a lot of the cool upgrades as well.
Yeah, a lot of times people, when they buy a home, they're looking to do upgrades like the things we're going to show in this video that will help people actually get what they want. Instead of just getting a stripped down version of a home, you can actually get the upgrades that you're hoping for, because that's honestly the most exciting thing about buying a new home. You get that cool backsplash, that cool kitchen, that really cool ensuite bathroom in the primary bedroom. So it's really cool to have those things, as well as the rooftop deck and the hot tub and everything else and the views. All right, Isaac, here we are in this house. Pretend like we only have 5 minutes to go check out this house. Show us the best parts.
Okay, cool. Awesome, great open layout, beautiful kitchen. Sego's really known for its large pantries, like butler pantry areas.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Do you guys do that on all of these homes out here?
We do. So it's an upgrade to have the cabinets in there.
Right.
But it does have shelving with outlets in the pantry for hiding all your things you don't want out in the kitchen all the time.
For sure.
We're really known as well for our indoor-outdoor living.
So the indoor-outdoor living is really cool. This is awesome because you don't just have a door there, you have it over here as well.
I have a door here as well.
So this entire space kind of opens up to the outside.
Space, yep.
All right, that is really cool.
That's specific to this floor plan, but we have a lot of floor plans with a lot of different indoor-outdoor type concepts.
Okay. And then right here behind this living space, I'm sorry, this outdoor space.
No, you're good. So this one, standard would be an office.
Okay.
But we actually are showing it as well with a full ensuite bathroom with a closet.
Oh, so it's like
main level living.
So you basically have the ability to have 2 primary suites almost. And this also has a walk-in closet. All right. Well, this would be my home office if this were my home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep, so 9-foot ceilings are standard on the main level and upstairs. So that's kind of unique as well to Sego, that I don't know many other builders that have 9-foot on your secondary floor.
So the second floor has 9-foot ceilings. That is definitely rare. There aren't many builders doing that at all.
We try to have a lot of like thoughtful design or upgrade options. Even for example, like this is your laundry pass-through. So this actually leads to the primary walk-in closet.
So here we have the laundry. And here you can stuff your laundry into the master closet. That's cool.
Access from the balcony here, but I actually like coming through the sliding glass door. So this is the primary bedroom. Nice tall ceilings. Covered balcony.
Okay, this is my favorite part about your houses.
And this is what's so cool.
This is the reason why I would buy a Sego home.
Engineered for a hot tub, more of that indoor-outdoor living. This in particular plan has the covered space, but yeah, you can see how it just allows a ton of natural light in here. You can have your hot tub, hang out, great for entertaining.
Okay, so are all of your rooftop decks like this built so they can structurally support a hot tub?
They are. So anything that's big enough to have a hot tub, we engineer it to support a hot tub. It is an upgrade to add the electrical for it, because not everyone wants a hot tub.
Right.
But it is engineered to support the weight if it's big enough to even have a hot tub.
That's awesome. And for me, when you look out the views here, obviously there's some homes directly across from us. But if you look out here, you can see, I can see the water course from here. I can see views of the Wasatch Mountains.
Amazing primary
Oh my goodness.
bathroom.
All right, there are 2 builders that stand out in Daybreak, and this is completely on point with the other one that you guys are competing against in terms of having the best finishes. So
Yeah, beautiful standalone tub, shower.
yeah, this is a gorgeous bathroom. Here's a walk-in closet here with that passageway into the laundry, as you saw earlier. Double vanities, a freestanding tub, and a beautiful shower.
A lot of windows. So we're Energy Star rated builder standard. So blown-in insulation on all your exterior walls, helps with energy efficiency, all like your your utility bills, all that kind of thing.
So you guys do the blown-in insulation on all the exterior walls.
Standard.
That's a big deal. That's awesome.
Well, yep.
Okay, so that is a quick tour just of the main highlights of this home. We're not going to show you the entire home because honestly it changes and you can actually envision doing your own thing in your own home as well. But let's check out really quickly the house next door because I think it's got a lot to offer as well.
This one was in the Prada Homes 2024. Our newest, one of our new floor plans called the Legacy. This one is like so nice big open great room, kitchen area behind us.
Okay, I really like the windows in this room because it really takes advantage of the views. For example, if you can't see on camera, that's okay, but out these windows, you can see those Wasatch Mountains out in the distance. I think that's a highlight of this house.
Yep, nice. Open kitchen, deep island.
Double waterfall island. This kitchen's a little smaller than the other one, correct?
It is slightly smaller. That's why we actually made this island a little bit deeper. There's actually storage on both sides of the island just to give you a little bit more kitchen space.
Okay, gotcha. This is still a nice feel. It's an ample kitchen. It's not like it's small. That other one's just quite large.
Yeah, that owns.
And then over here,
also a nice big pantry, gives you a lot of that storage space. This is showing without the cabinets.
you guys really focus on these pantries. And is this a Costco door?
It is, yeah.
So this goes right through the
Goes
garage.
right into that garage, so.
Okay, you unload your vehicle right here, throw your groceries right into your pantry, you're good to go.
So that's an option. And we could go on in the house, save the garage for last, or do you want to hit the garage first?
Let's do the garage now and save
Okay.
the primary for last.
Okay.
I think that's cool.
Because this one's a super unique as well, to Daybreak and Sego's first like 3-car garage home.
Okay.
Very large space here where you have your kind of like a tandem area on this side. We're showing this with an optional like workspace.
So here we have the main garage and it's tandem. In other words, what he's saying is it's really deep. You can go all the way down here and park 2 vehicles in tandem right here. And does that TV come with the garage? and the beverage
another-
refrigerator? That's pretty sweet.
See if we can work out a deal on that.
Okay.
Now then this, kind of like what Scott was mentioning earlier that we were talking about, is that you could even wall this space off. There's a separate garage here. There's actually another garage space here, and that's why there's another door into that home.
Okay, so over here is the main entrance to the house this direction. You could put a wall here and have 2 different garages and walk in the house this direction.
And then actually wall here,
So you could put a wall right here and separate the 2 houses.
because this leads into that where we were just at the kitchen. There's a little mudroom space.
Beautiful.
Then leads to upstairs. There are 3 bedrooms upstairs.
We'll check that out last.
And if you were to wall this off, and where there's actually,
Perfect.
and that would lead you right down here.
Okay, let's go check out.
Basement.
This is a full ADU, guys, and most ADUs just feel like a basement apartment. This one feels like a house.
So yeah, we're showing this one. Nice big open, great room, full kitchen. And of course there's the option if you wanted to just have a wet bar or anything like that, it can live as one single home, or we're showing you here that it can be utilized as a like multi-generational living space. So full kitchen.
Are you seeing a lot of buyers looking for that, Isaac?
We have.
A lot of people are looking for that.
We have a lot of people that, just with how the future's going with that, like I said, that's a big topic right now, is multi-generational, for affordability, all that kind of stuff.
Why do people want their kids living at home still? That's,
I'm gonna say I've had other
Just-
buyers, pre-builders, buyers that are like, I want my kids to be able to get into a home, or we're helping them with rent, and they're going, hey, they're renting over here. They're like, let's combine it so they could help them just get right on the right foot.
Perfect.
Let them live here temporarily, maybe while they get into something, or save up, all that kind of
awesome.
stuff. So yeah,
So we've got 1 bedroom over here in this basement apartment. That's a pretty good sized room. And then this would be considered the primary bedroom down here, right?
it is.
So that's a queen size bed.
Yep, showing it the good size, a little bit bigger bedroom.
And of course, a bathroom as well. Okay.
And with some,
And then
Yeah,
a
yes.
stackable laundry unit here. Okay, this is one of the best ADU apartments or multi-generational apartments I've seen. Let's go check out the last part of the house upstairs. This house is really unique. So it does not have a traditional water heater with a gas line, and this house has no gas run to it, correct?
correct.
This is just a heat pump.
It is. So this in particular model, it's the first time that we built something like this. It's called a zero emission home, where it doesn't have, like you just mentioned, doesn't have any gas line into it. It's all just heat pump. It's electric fireplace, induction cooktop. A lot of that's even for not just only energy efficiency, but also like air quality. So there's not some awesome toxins, things like that either.
Okay, let's go check out the rest.
Yeah. This home actually, well, fun fact, this won the Interior Design Award from the Parade of Homes. We have a little award downstairs.
Just won an award? Which one?
Won an award. It's called the Interior Design Award.
Ooh, I like it. I mean, I can tell it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Laundry off to the right.
Laundry, your secondary bathroom, your 2 like secondary bedrooms.
Okay, so there's 1 bedroom here. There's 1 bedroom here with a balcony entrance, and then over here
Is your primary that also has access to the balcony.
Oh, that's
Still incorporating that indoor outdoor living. This also is engineered to support a hot tub if you were to have one out here.
those are great views. All right. So these are new single family model homes for you. Which of these two do you think is going to be the best seller?
I don't know. This one actually, we've had a lot of eyeballs on this legacy floor plan with that large garage and that capability to have multi-generational living.
Awesome.
This has been such a cool new floor plan. And we even have some other floor plans that even has like a separate entrance, some other affordable options that can get you in a really cool home and still have really nice, great quality as well.
Awesome. And then here's the bathroom.
Yeah, so full bath.
So a double vanity,
Then
a nice big full shower. And a walk-in closet. Ooh,
A big closet with the window in there.
that's a great closet. Cool. 2 little windows in here. And of course, last but not least, the water closet. All right, so I think I've pretty much covered or touched on just about everything. There's no way that I could wrap everything there is to know about Daybreak into a 30-minute video. But if you want to know more, there's plenty more to discover, and especially if you're considering making that move here, because there's so many cool things to see. And I think the best way to experience Daybreak is to actually pay a visit and come check it out yourself, spend a couple of days here, and make sure that it's the right place for you, and that's why we're here. Okay, and just to wrap up, if you are considering making that move, please reach out to us. We'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. If you're looking to make the move here to Daybreak, I love living here. I'm hoping that everybody that finds a new home here in Daybreak loves it just as much as I do. And I'm really passionate about sharing not only my community, but my knowledge around this development as well as other developments throughout the entire state of Utah. And I love helping people discover all things Utah, including Utah real estate and Daybreak. So reach out to me and we'll get you connected with those guides as well as the listings for new homes that are available here, both in new construction as well as existing homes, to make sure that you're completely dialed in if you're looking for everything there is to know about living in Daybreak. And if you want to learn more about life in Utah, check out this playlist next. And until the next video, thanks.